glad it had nothing to do with me yapping my mouth about something.
And what you have just heard there was the beginning of our conversation of episode 4 of the Moist Cast. I remembered to turn all the volume down on all of my streams tonight, so I will be good to go. Before we dive right into the DJD show's little situation that we're dealing with here, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our cast of characters here tonight, and we just got joined by our fifth member. And I'm going to go right down the line here. I'm going to start out with, he has his mic muted. I'm going to start out with our newest member here of the Moist Cast, Black Angus Reviews.
Hey, what's up, Brandon?
All righty, we got him coming in here. We also have one of the original members of the Moist Cast, Proper Jeremy.
Hello.
And we also have the man who is in a little bit of hot water right now on the YouTubes, the DJD Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, fun times had by all. Goddamn YouTube.
And we also have with us the one, the only, the mighty superfan, Adam Shawhan.
Hello, everybody with the Wiener Dog Clan who are going to be quiet for 15 seconds, it seems. Hello, all.
All right, and before we dive in, we're going to do a little 2018 year in review. We're going to look back at our most memorable moments of 2018 in entertainment-wise, and including moments with the Fandom Menace, of which there are many. We had a big one last night with Geeks and Gamers, 100,000 subscribers. Awesome.
Yep.
We're going to break down some of our favorite movies, but we're also going to do favorite characters of 2018. And that means we're not going to look at the actors that played them, but the specific characters. Did they have a great year in 2018? And we're also going to look back at some of the creators that we lost this year and remember Stan Lee and a couple other ones that we've lost and remember their contributions and how they might be remembered. And then the last point that I have to talk about, let's just have a good fucking time. So in the chat, be active. Let us know what you want to hear about. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about 2018 and everything. Pretty much all your thoughts on it. But before we get rolling here, DJ D's in a bit of hot water. His channel got flagged. He was explaining it to me right before we went live here. So he is in a bit of a shitty situation. So for those not aware, and I'm sure people that are watching this right now are pretty familiar with your channel, if you want to go ahead and explain what's going on here.
All right. So, yes, I'm going to link the video that is no longer there, but pretty much so you see what I got hit with. So, no one said it yet. But yes, in case you think it's BS, no, it is not. I indeed got hit with a spam strike, the same thing that took down that Umbrella Guy's channel. So the spam strike is clearly the most dangerous of all the strikes on YouTube. If you get hit with that one, the only other one that's almost as dangerous, no, the one that's, okay, the most dangerous one is definitely the copyright strike if you get that one. Because of that one, you definitely need a lawyer for to get your channel back. But the second most dangerous, definitely the spam strike. Fun people have gotten hit by that one, possibly. Okay, that Umbrella Guy. Again, another fun person might have gotten hit by it, Ethan Van Sciver. And guess who else got hit by it? Me! Yeah. So as you can see from the video, the fun stuff it says, you know, I've been accused of, again, I can still appeal it, but I'm trying to get some legal, you know, help first before I do so. So, this video has been removed for violating YouTube policy on spam, deceptive practices, and scams. So, and this was literally, and here's the fun part, because I back up my stuff sometimes when it functions. Yay, YouTube. I'll link it now. Give me a second. Here you go. Here's the video in question. That is the video in question. That is so dangerous that it must be removed from YouTube immediately because it might, oh no, I might taint the YouTube community apparently. So pretty much, it's just me, Frank, and Mr. Peabody making fun of Twitter, then Tumblr, then a half-naked chick in a bikini. Again, I wasn't hit for age restricted, by the way, on this video, which is the funny part. And then back to me making fun of Twitter. Then I made fun of Renfamous. Then I roasted Renfamous a little bit in a meme. Apparently, meme's too dangerous. So after the meme, it was whatever else happened towards the end of me making fun of stuff or complaining. And then obviously, yes, there was a lot of buffering, at least when we were doing it. But after the fact, somehow it magically corrected itself. So then pretty much that's the video. Quick synopsis. You can judge for yourself. Oh my God, is that spam? Obviously that video is filled with spam.
Well, it's not the spam that I have in my cabinet right now. I can tell you that.
Definitely not that spam.
No.
So yeah. So going over the fun that is spam, deceptive practice, and the scam policies, video channel and comment spams. So that can give you a nice fun strike. Here's what within that thing that I just linked, their rules. Links to content outside of YouTube. Oh no, that might get you a spam strike. What else is fun? Artificial traffic spam. That might get you a spam strike. Again, a lot of the wording in their little rule section for this one in particular, for this fun little strike, it's very vague. I wonder if it would pass the litmus test from the Supreme Court for vagueness, because it's very vague. What else is fun? Oh, misleading metadata. There's that one. Misleading, inappropriate, or unacceptable thumbnails. Again, that would normally be what they describe there. I'd just get age restricted for the half-naked model. That's what should have happened, but didn't happen. That's what should, again, they say it themselves. Selecting a sexually provocative thumbnail may result in the age restriction of your video, but nowhere does it bloody say there that it's a strike.
Well,
but whatever.
The chat here says hashtag DJD notorious spammer, but
yeah, exactly. Then the one after that, scams. Some users create content which attempts to trick others for their own financial gain. Oh my! And then the most ridiculous of these is the fact that this is even under this category: blackmail or extortion. I'm not joking. It's like that miscellaneous catch-all law that's just there to catch everything that they can't get covered. So apparently, I possibly may have committed blackmail or extortion. Oh, woe is me. YouTube has a zero-tolerance policy for extortion or blackmail if someone has recorded a sexually exploitative video. Obviously, I was exploiting Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. Oh, no. Of you and has sent the link. Please flag this content immediately for removal and make sure to contact your local law enforcement. I can't wait until the FBI comes for me for this evil video I put up on the YouTube. So there you go. Enjoy. You can make up your own mind.
Well, Cinna Dave, I want to say that I want to hopefully that I'm saying that correctly. Cinna Dave, can I get a spam strike if I review spam? That's a good question. I would tell you what.
Pretty much anything. It's the ultimate catch-all. If you comment on someone's video, see, this is what Matt Mundane was doing. He was doing this crap, sort of in effect. I might be wrong on people. Like, they talk shit about him in their video, spam strike. Oh, you don't like how his boulders flow? Spam strike. So he was just hitting everybody with spam. It's any dumbass, if he gets the right dumbass, or himself, reviewing the video, bam, there goes live streaming for 3 months. Oh, and also your yeah.
Yeah, I was
bunch of other fun stuff happens, yeah.
So what we've all heard there is the absolute shitty situation that the DJD show is in right now. But the Moistcast is here to provide everyone an opportunity to speak. So if the spammer or the flagger is out there in the chat that wants to confront DJD virtually here, I will give them that platform to do so, and that we'll have a little Dr. Phil therapy session here. That hopefully we can work this shit out, because DJ's put a lot of work into his channel. So let's we need to find out what's going on here. I will, if the spammer is out there, go to send me a DM at Brandon Moist on Twitter, and we'll figure out what we can do here. And we'll be as civil as possible. So essentially, what we're gonna do here. Now that the DJD has filled everybody in on what's going on in his channel, and as I said, I welcome him to continue to rant as much as you need and vent, because I'm sure that pisses you off, and we're all a little upset as well.
Yes. So again, the same thing everyone else has sadly had to do due to dipshits like this doing this. Effectively, I see the. I guess the dog agrees. For people doing fun shit like this, is everyone, just in case this crap happens to their main channel, needs to have a backup in case douchebags or a live streaming channel, in case their main channel where they put their videos up gets hit with the spam strike or something else terrible. So because of that, yes, before this happened, because I'm everyone else was doing it. Like, again, that Umbrella guy has done it. He's got the Umbrella guys, his other channel. Yellow Flash is Yellow Flash and Yellow Flash Inc. 2. You know, Ethan Van Sciver had to do it. He's got, you know, All Caps Comics and then the All Caps channel. So I unfortunately have had to do the same thing. So yes, my live streaming channel from now on is going to be the one I just linked, in case anybody that's subbed to my channel that's currently under review wants to see my live streams in the next week, hopefully on Friday. You know, again, before that, I'm going to be dealing with this fun issue with YouTube, talking to a lawyer and seeing what his advice is, whether or not I should, you know, spend money on this, or if he's going to tell me, no, you're fucked. There's no way around it.
Yeah, well,
unless I'm Ethan Van Sciver and have the friends Ethan Van Sciver has, which is Keemstar or PewDiePie or something, call YouTube directly and say, hey, look at his video. Is it clean, or give him back his channel? That's literally what it is. That's all it's like, it's sadly who you know.
Yeah, and that's, you know, unfortunately, that is the world that we live in. But I just want to give a special shout out to the chat here before we get rolling into our year in review. I see Ron Navy's in the chat. Caitlin, keeper of the Jeremys. God bless you and your keeping of all of the names of the Jeremys. And I think you did the proper Annas as well. So God bless you. Ron Navy, I gave you the shout out here. We got Mr. Pete in the chat as well. Give him a subscribe. He's looking for 600 subscribers, as his name says. Lethal Lightning, it was great having you on last week, man. Hope you are doing well. Senna Dave and Lando Calrissian is also in the chat. It is great to see that you've made your way from Bespin and into the Moist cast. And I just realized that when I did my intro, we were all a little fired up about DJD. I forgot to bless you all with moisture, and may this Moist cast be the moistest cast that you have partaken in on this FriYAY evening. And we're going to go into a little review of 2018. A year that may have made you dry. It may have made you moist. It is a year that made me very moist, moister than I could have ever imagined. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to kind of go down the line here, and we're going to talk about the most memorable entertainment moments of 2018. This can be just a personal experience you had, maybe going to see Infinity War or Black Panther, Solo, the whole thing. This could be a Fandom Menace experience. It could be whatever you want. Like, I know I have an idea what proper Jeremy might pick. It could be literally anything. Just, you know, what was your favorite moment of 2018 in entertainment and pop culture? And super fan Adam Shawham, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Black Angus.
All right, I'm going to shoot real quick just in case dogs go nuts, because they are just yipping today. They are pissed that their show was not on. For me, it was getting to meet Jeff Hicks and World Class Bullshitters at Horror Hound. That was top of my list for 2018, because that just alone, being as entertaining as the show is, then getting to actually meet the people that do the show, and they're such nice, great guys, blows anything out of the water that Disney could even think to try to come up with, including Infinity Wars. But yes, I think that DJ, with your lawsuit letter, I need to join in on that, because our dogs are so depressed that they are not mating, and that's costing me money, and I'm pissed. And so are the wiener dogs. They're refusing to mate, even though they're in heat. As I told you, Brandon, we were hoping to break Frank's record. Yeah, it didn't happen at all. So it's AI, baby. But still, nonetheless, naturally, these dogs should be a humping. And they're not, because they're depressed because there was no DJD show this morning. On to the rest of you. Thank you very much.
All right, Black Angus, let's go to you here.
I don't know. It's kind of weird for me. As far as pop culture, 2018 has been a
if you want to. There's no judgment on this channel, so
yeah. For me, part of pop culture is sports, and that's something I cover a little bit. I haven't had a chance to get very deep with it, but 2018 Philly won, and that made me bawl like a baby. And also at the NFL, a couple weeks ago, I went to see Indy versus Dallas, and the Cowboys laid an egg, which was great. That's the NFL part of my good year. Avengers Infinity War is great, but this year's been really shitty with film, in my opinion, compared to 2017. I went to theaters like 30 times in 2017, and I probably went 10 this year. And 4 of those were to see Avengers. But I would say, I guess the biggest thing is making like this second wave of the fandom menace with Rookie Critic and Jeff the Iron Wolf, and through that you've started live streaming. Proper Jeremy started live streaming, and just like we really are the phase 2 I was setting out to like make, and with Flip Down stuff we've made the quote unquote fandom collective. We're kind of making this next wave our own thing, and it's great to see it expanding with creativity and meeting all these people across the country via YouTube. Yeah, that's really my quick year in review, my highlights that I'd like to just put. Yay!
No, I completely agree with you there. It's absolutely. But this year has been great that we've all been able to meet each other, and we all come from such diverse backgrounds, and every bring ups and whatever. And it's great that we all have this platform that we can all meet together, and I'm sure everybody watching this too kind of feels the same way. I mean, Caitlin, keeper of the Jeremys there, she, I think she has 200 Jeremy accounts. I'm sure some of them might be the same person doing it, but imagine, putting the time in to make 200 Jeremy accounts. And obviously there's multiple Jeremys. I saw Hallmark Channel Jeremy in the chat earlier. I think I forgot to shout him out, but Hallmark's always awesome. But, having people that, support this community and support the creators such as, the content creators such as EVS, Jeff with WCBS and Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers, that's awesome. And, it's given us a platform as well to just finally speak up and meet each other. And let's either DJ D or Proper Jeremy, either one of you guys want to go with your most memorable moments of 2018 entertainment wise or anything?
After you, DJ.
Pretty much. There's been a bunch of fun stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, it's probably Infinity War, because in my mind, they realized that they did it pretty good. They did it very close to the comic book. Fun times had by all. I saw it several times. Yeah, and I'm like, yes, finally. They did it right. See, that was my worry, that they weren't going to do it right, but they did it properly. They changed a few things.
Wait, they did it properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite proper. And God, saw that several times. Still see it, and I got it there. I can watch it whenever. I'd say the other one that surprised me this year was Aquaman doing so well like it's doing, and Venom. So 2 things everyone thought was not going to make money. All predicted it wasn't going to make money. Ends up doing well because they weren't complete garbage. Unlike, fun movies that we came into the year talking about, possibly, which is The Last Jedi. Oh, and Solo happened. Solo bombing epically also was a memorable moment. And I gather that's Mr. Pete, the notorious Mr. Pete.
That is, and
if I may interject,
I was waiting for it. Mr. Pete, before I introduce you, I'm going to let Proper Jeremy go here, and then I'll introduce you and let you roll with this question.
Okay, thank you, Brandon.
Yep. All right, so Proper Jeremy, go ahead.
Oh, let's see. What made me the most moist this year?
Episode 127 of World Class Bullshitters. I think did we lose Proper?
Yeah, I think we just lost him.
Oh no,
yeah, we just lost him.
He got
he got extra moist.
His airwaves got too moist.
He can hear the replay later. Was poking fun. moderately, but not too much, because if you do too much poking of the fun, you might get hit with a spam strike.
All right, well,
Oh God,
Proper
I'm gonna
Jeremy's
make a
appendix-
meme out of it now.
Proper Jeremy's appendix just chimed in and said, "I think he killed him." I really hope he didn't. I think I think Proper Jeremy's awesome. In the meantime, while Proper Jeremy is rejoining the call, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our sixth guest.
Sorry about that.
Sixth member.
He's
here.
back.
Okay, all right. Mr. P.
I had a connection issue. My bad.
All right, no, go ahead, Proper.
So what was I talking about? What made me moist this year? Yeah, finding this community was amazing. Seeing Solo tank at the box office was very satisfying. Just to know that, we can affect some sort of change, and just to see Lucasfilm just completely just take all the wrong messages. And just like, it's Star Wars fatigue, or it's not the way that Lucasfilm employees treat fans. No, not at all. It's not because people call us racist and sexist for not liking, The Last Jedi. And it's also that movie has, gotten, made Jeremy possibly a career, and a lot of other people. And now we're going to all meet at a Star Wars Celebration. I hope to be there. That's going to be a lot of fun. What made me the least moist? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy renewing her contract was the least moist thing that of this year. Maybe.
I agree.
Oh, Halloween, that sucked. But we could talk about specific movies later. Yeah, this is a very uneventful 2018 for movies, but.
I agree with you. And Senna Dave in the chat here, he says he's ranking some of his favorite movies that we can go into in a little more in depth here. He says number 1 was Infinity War, number 2 Venom, number 3 Deadpool 2, and number 4 Ant-Man and Wasp.
You must like superhero movies.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So Senna Dave, I agree with you with Infinity War. Venom 2, that surprised me. I enjoyed that. I did not expect to, but I actually enjoyed it. Deadpool 2, I'm a diehard Deadpool fan. So you just throw Ryan Reynolds on the screen and have him just killing some people and making fun of his Green Lantern films. That's hilarious. I love it. But joining us in the Hangouts here and on your screen, the man that has a picture of the Death Star in his profile picture. It is the man that will have he will have many rants, I am sure, and they will be good. It is the Mr. Pete Show, or the Mr. Pete Channel.
Yes.
I'm mixing them all up here. So the Mr. Pete Channel and the Mr. Pete Channel need 600 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed to the Mr. Pete Channel, please feel free to go check out his channel. I will add his channel to the description below. And anybody I gave a wrench to, if you want to add it in as well, please feel free. Please subscribe to the Mr. Pete channel. He has a lot of great hot takes. And Mr. Pete, what are some of the most memorable moments of 2018 for you?
This year's been such a blur to me. It's gone by so fast, but this has been I would say that this year has been more of a positive year for me than a negative year for me. Well, I got my bonus check this year. That helped a lot.
Congratulations.
Yes. The economy's been doing all right. It's getting better. That affects my job. In case you haven't noticed, I do international. I do it in some. I show it in some of my videos. Import export. So yeah.
Oh, you're an importer exporter.
Yeah. Well,
legitimately, you're like Art Vandelay.
Yes. Mostly vehicles. Sometimes cargo, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, anyway, what am I most thankful for? Most
memorable. Like what? Like if you look back at 28, like
yes,
like a few years of 2018, and it could be a bad memory even. Just like what? Like, and it could be within this community. It could just be like, oh, I went and saw this movie. It was awesome. I had a great experience seeing it. Or hell, this restaurant was awesome, and they were playing that movie in the background. So anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to pinpoint. I mean, I really didn't see any. I mean, like Infinity War was a very. I thought it was a very good movie, but I knew at least half of what was going to happen in that movie because I'm aware of the comics and all that. That's why I really can't overly get excited over like comic book movies because you know what's going to happen. I mean, like they do change things up. Like in Justice League, they made Doomsday the clone of Zod or whatever, but it's still Doomsday. So anyway, the most probably. Oh God, was Baby Driver released this year or was it last year?
What movie was that?
Baby Driver.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
That was last year.
Yeah, that was well. I can't say that. That's one of the best movies I saw in years.
What was that again?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Oh, that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. I'm like, was that like beginning of this year or last year?
Yeah, that was a very misleading title, but
yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah. Well, I can.
If that's the worst part, then Yeah. Oh, what was that?
I was gonna ask why was it misleading? Were you expecting an actual Baby Driver like Boss
Baby? Yes. I thought that was amazing. That would be awesome, but no, it was just a kid with a baby face. Like,
that would actually be a really cool crossover. Edgar Wright directing a Boss Baby driving sequel.
That's actually a great idea. I would pay to see that movie, but as long as it's not animated. Well, maybe animated would work better, but I don't know. I would pay to see it though. Sorry, Pete, you were.
Yeah, well, I would have to say like the worst thing is KK getting rehired, of course.
I think I was PJ's as well.
I think we could all agree on that, or most of us at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd probably say like
You're across the board agreeing with you right there.
Yeah, it's also kind of a negative, but I am kind of glad that Solo did flop. So, will Disney start listening to us? That still remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm glad it flopped. The plot was weird. Han Solo didn't look like Han Solo. Pando Lando. Yeah, I'm glad.
We had a field day with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Calrissian in the chat. How did that make you feel?
I think we got Lando. He might not be too pleased with that. But
he's embracing it.
I agree. I think you have a lot of great points there. And essentially, what we're seeing is 2018 when it comes to entertainment. I feel like it was very strong early, mid early with Infinity War and Black Panther, and then dwindled down, and then. With Aquaman, I'm not as familiar with Aquaman. I haven't gone to see it yet, so no spoilers. I don't want to go into Aquaman too much. I know it's doing very well, and I'm a big fan of Khal Drogo. I forget the guy's name, but
Jason Momoa.
Big fan of Khal Drogo. He's Khal Drogo to me. Don't care. But I'll go into what my most memorable moments. Obviously, for myself, it'll be the World Class Bullshitters episode whenever I became the Moist. Yeah, that one. It's linked in my channel if you want to check it out. I think it's like 125 or 6 or 7. It's like one of those there. Basically, towards it was like the last half hour. I basically just hijacked the comment section with just very basic super chats. But everyone just started doing moist puns and movie titles, and it just took over. So that was awesome. But before that, what was even more awesome was that I found that community, which has led to what we're doing right now. While we're all just talking around and bullshitting with each other. Because, after The Last Jedi, this stems back to December 2017, obviously. But, into, the new year of 2018, I was still I don't want to say I don't like a Star Wars movie because I'm such a huge Star Wars fan. I was, under the impression a Star Wars movie can never be bad. I grew up with the prequels, so no judgment there. So the prequels to me were my original trilogy. Like they were golden. You know, there's nothing wrong. As I got older, I saw the flaws with the CGI and the storytelling, the dialogue and such. But I was telling myself the whole time, like, The Force Awakens, okay, you know, I enjoyed the movie. You know, I enjoyed it. I never said it was a great movie or a bad movie. It was just like, okay, it was fun. Like, I enjoyed it. Fuck, why'd they kill Han? Like, damn it. But I kind of saw it coming because Harrison Ford, with all he wanted Han to die. But then, you know, early 2018, like in February and March, really when this community really got a lot of traction, I was like, I literally just typed in on Google like Last Jedi reviews, and I think the first one I saw might have been Mahler. And then I like clicked on it briefly, didn't listen to the whole thing, and then I saw Ethan Van Sciver's original Last Jedi review, which got taken down from YouTube. That blew my mind because also EVS has some incredible sarcasm, and just the way he reads and does his videos is just hilarious. That sucked me in. And then I did some more Last Jedi like searches. I found World Class Bullshitters, and then I found Geeks and Gamers. That was awesome. And then the one day I just kind of went off in the chat section. I was like holding it all in. I got to let it go. And that's where the moist was begun. But the most memorable moments of 2018, honestly, has to be not becoming the moist, but seeing in the chat section and like hanging out there, because that's really where I lurk. I lurk in the chat section of World Class Bullshitters, and just being able to interact with people in the chat section. I've interacted with most of you guys in the chat section before we actually talked, you know, via this platform. You know, that's memorable to me, and it's led me to create new friendships that I may have never had. And it's all thanks to such a shitty movie. And, you know, in that sense, I'm thankful for The Last Jedi. But all right, to get off my high horse here, the last moment that I will forever remember is Solo. I will forever remember the theatrical release of Solo because of the amount of content that was produced by EVS, Geeks and Gamers, leading up to that, and it was awesome.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I completely agree. That was amazing. That was a great time. Like if you were to just start making content, that was your way in.
Yeah, no,
there couldn't have been more perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know, Proper Jeremy's face. Proper Jeremy, you have a parody account of your face. And Jason Clark, is it hot and wet in? Is it hot and wet in here, or is it just me? No, it's not just you. We're all moist, bud. Welcome to the moisture zone.
It's very moist right up in here. Thanks to you.
You click on this chat. You type a comment in there. You smash a like button or whatever. You are in the moisture zone. So put your hoods up. You're gonna get wet.
Oh, that is great. That is fantastic. By the way, I thought your cameo on the Rookies Test Part 3 was great.
Yeah, no, dude,
it was the highlight of the.
Oh, I love Jon Snow jumping in there. That was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So that's a good plug here. So for another great channel, he's not here tonight, but if you guys in the chat section, if you haven't checked out, if you're not familiar with, check out The Rookie Critic.
Yeah, he's good.
The Rookie Critic on YouTube. He is he has a few hundred subscribers. He has just created.
Yeah, he got us all in his video.
Yeah, he's created a three-part trilogy, almost 2 hours in length, and it is awesome. And the best thing about it is he did such a great job including cameos from other YouTubers within the fandom menace.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a good time to watch. Like, honestly, like, you know, watching someone create, you know, a big video for the first time, like, you know, the first time that I've seen his work, you know, it was awesome to see. And I think he did a great job. And I think a couple people on here, I think Black Angus, you all, Proper Jeremy, I know Adam Shawham, DJD, did you have a camera?
Yeah, so we were all in it.
Okay.
You hear me fine?
Yeah, I heard you.
Cool. Yeah, I was in part 3.
Yeah, I would say I feel like we were all in it. So,
yeah, I did the vampire Sexy Russian vampire,
that was it. Yes.
Dragon Ball or whatever part.
Russian vampire bot.
I put some special effects into the video, a little bit. This from the video games.
Well, I just want to say, drunk 3PO. I just don't want to get moist. Drunk 3PO. If you're drunk, you've already consumed quite a bit of moisture. So
Indeed,
you know,
just where he's going to rust out.
It's a bit implied. But anyone in the chat too, please feel free to continue to say what your favorite moments of 2018 was. Whether it's a Fandom Menace community interaction, whether it's just I love this movie or whatever, please let us know. And with that, we're going to move on to our next topic, but please feel free to throw in here. I want to go into what was your favorite characters of 2018. Now, this does not go into who the actor was, but who is your favorite characters of 2018?
Does it count if it's based on a real person?
It could be based on a real person, yes, absolutely. This is complete entertainment review here in 2018. So it could be, like Sully. Like Sully was my favorite character, and it's a real person, things like that. I know that wasn't 2018, but just for reference. But I say, who wants to go first here? Do we have any takers? If not, I will pick.
Oh, sure, I'll do it.
Probably.
Adam, go ahead. I know you. At any minute, the dogs could just yap away.
Adam,
thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We got him to bed. We were right in the process of doing that. For me, it was honestly Doomcock to actually get to interact and meet with him, via voice chat and stuff. He has got to be one of the most awesome, cool dudes that plays a hell of a villain who is just a sweetheart. Once again, I don't have cable. I don't really go to the movies that much because, hey, Wiener Dog Clan, they won't let me buy tickets for the dogs, and, well, fuck them. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of people. It's been awesome hanging with the Moist here, Master Moist. But when it comes to actual characters, I have to be honest with you guys. I mean, Proper's great. Don't get me wrong. He's good too, but it's Doomcock all the way for me.
That's a very interesting choice to choose my arch nemesis.
Well, he is Pop to the Wiener Dog Clan, and that came from him, not me. So, but I mean, in all honesty, I found Doomcock just like I found DJD, all from World Class, met those guys. They're great, but he is just hilarious. And you can hear the pain in his voice and the love in his voice over everything that he talks about. But then when he does his videos where he's evil and with Harvey and, just as a character, like I said, this is just my opinion. I give him, the golden trophy of 2018 from me and the Wiener Dog Clan.
Nice.
Shit, I should have gone first then.
Now, do you have a favorite character, as in also Thanos or Captain America or Iron Man, things like that?
I would have to say, as for I enjoy Jon Snow. The build up on the show has just been great. I actually voted on Angus's Twitter. That was my pick, and I was giggling the whole time because I was like, if Brandon Moist picks this, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to pick possibly the same one. But I do enjoy the character in the show. I haven't read the books, but in the show overall for Game of Thrones, that's my favorite character.
Yeah, and to go off of that here, just to set this up, Adam, you did a great job with picking Doomcock. Doomcock's an absolute legend. You can pick. I would say what I'm looking for is you can pick characters within the Fandom Menace, and you can also pick characters like Jon Snow or Iron Man or Deadpool or things like that. Like what characters had a great year? And Adam, I think you made a great point. Doomcock had a hell of a year.
Thank you, sir. That, like I said, that's just my opinion. I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say.
So yeah, Proper and then Black Angus. You guys want to go then?
Yeah, I'll let Proper go.
Thank you. So something that I forgot to shout out earlier was Bohemian Rhapsody. That's probably my personal favorite movie of the year, just because I'm a huge fan of rock and roll, and Queen. It took me a while to get into, but I've always known about them, and I've always known who they were, but I didn't really know just how significant they really were and how entertaining they were. And I got to see the Queen and Adam Lambert, which was fun and awesome. Really good time. I got to see him in Vegas. It's funny. I also saw like a Beatles tribute band, and my dad liked the fake Beatles more than the actual Queen, which we had an argument about. But I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah, they sucked." And I was like, "What? Are you kidding?" It's okay, but that's a story for another day. But I really liked that movie, and I loved. I know you said it's not so much the actor, but the actual character. But I liked what's Rami Malek brought to Freddie Mercury. I really liked his portrayal of him, because it's very hard to nail somebody so iconic like that. And Brian May looks exactly like Brian May. It's just amazing. Like, so many memes are just like like in the credits, somebody edited Brian May as himself, which is amazing. Also, Aquaman was pretty great. Talk about a character who was considered the lamest in the DC universe or in the Justice League.
Moistest.
Yeah, he's now the most moist member of the Justice League. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm going to see it maybe either tomorrow or Sunday. And best believe I am getting the largest drink possible. I might get 2 of the largest drinks, just so they know I'm going in moisturized.
As you should. You should even put some in your coat.
Hell yeah. I mean, hell, I'll just fucking walk in with lotion. I don't give a shit.
With lotion?
No, I
see where your mind is at. You really are into Jason Momoa, are you? No, you really are a Drogo fan.
No, that was too far. That was just sarcasm there.
Oh, no, it's not far enough. We need to get more moist in here. All right, but yeah, Aquaman and Freddie Mercury, Brian May, a lot of great. Well, I know they're not characters, Freddie and Brian, but I thought everyone in that movie did a fabulous job.
But the thing is, though, they're based on real life characters, and the fact that you enjoyed them that much, that gives a testament to the actors that brought them to life. And Freddie Mercury's a character. He's a real like.
He is a character.
Freddie Mercury's a goddamn legend.
Yeah,
anyone that wants to try to be Freddie Mercury, like, holy hell, like that's a task to take on. Before we keep moving on here to I think Black Angus that we're going to next, I want to give a shout out to the chat here. I saw Hallmark Channel Jeremy and Ron Navy discussing Navy service. So if I saw Hallmark Channel Jeremy served in the Navy for 10 years. Ron Navy, I'm not sure. I didn't catch how long you served or if you did serve. But guys, thank you for your service. I greatly appreciate that. And hats off to you guys. And before we also go today, unfortunately, we did lose America's oldest living veteran, Richard Overton, who's 112 years old, a veteran of World War II, passed away today. You probably recognize him from the memes of him holding a Thompson gun while smoking a cigar and holding a glass of whiskey. That is the man. He was an avid whiskey drinker, and he smoked about 12 cigars a day till he was 112 years old. So God bless that man, and God bless the greatest generation. That is why we're here. And so shout out to the veterans that are in chat here. I am forever thankful for you guys. And I hope you guys, obviously we're here. We're going to have some fun. So Black Angus, do you want to go? And then DJD?
Yeah. So first off, this may be a very minor spoiler. I don't know if you know, I actually saw Aquaman with proper. I'm sorry, what?
I'm good with minor spoilers in the chat. If you're with minor
Oh
spoilers,
no, yeah. This isn't anything about plot. Just like an interesting like.
Oh yeah.
Look forward to this. So yeah, I actually saw Aquaman with proper Jeremy.
That is
We
true.
we changed last minute. He came out here to Ohio to see family, I guess, and we were going to see Spider-Man, but because it seemed everyone in the fandom collective and the fandoms have seen Aquaman instead of Spider-Man, I was like, hey, I think it'd be better for us to assimilate into conversations if we see Aquaman. And of course, it worked out. It wasn't bad. I got a lot of flaws with it, but I also liked it. I did like a 4-hour raw reaction after I saw it.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
Well, I thought you were going to be. I thought you were either going to be with family or on a flight, so that's why I didn't invite you.
Oh no,
I actually said that in the stream, like, oh, sorry, but this is why.
You bastard!
The cool thing that's like inconsequential spoiler, but something you're going to look forward to now is I probably noticed this too because I'm binging Game of Thrones. I just finished season 7 today. I binged it in like a week. The opening credits, you know how like they always have like the different cities of concern in Game of Thrones at the each season's moments. The credits are like that with like cool. It looks like model work, but like CGI model work. Right? yeah, the Increst. They look like they look like a play on Game of Thrones, but with like epic Greek style like Aquaman scenes, and it's just really cool. Look forward to that, Brandon Moist.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, but for favorite character, yeah, I found Doomcock eventually because of the Phantom Menace, but favorite character overall is Thanos. I love the idea of nihilism and its implications in life and stuff, and the questions of life. And I actually read the Silver Surfer, the Thanos quest, and Infinity Gauntlet leading into seeing Infinity War. And I was really disappointed for one aspect because I was hoping that Hela would be retooled as Mistress Death. I hope that they would have resurrected her from Ragnarok, and that would be like his whole point. He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I could have brought you back. I serve you. This is why I do stuff." But the way they adapted like one little thread of his story with Silver Surfer about like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna they're going to overpopulate and just destroy themselves. I'm going to fix that." And the way they made that his whole arc and the theme of sacrifice being turned on its head, with him being the protagonist of the story, and our heroes are the antagonists and are unwilling to sacrifice, and they keep trying to do kind of like Iron Man versus Captain America in Avengers, where Captain America is like, "Oh yeah, sometimes you just gotta lay down on the line or lay on a grenade or something for your buddy," and he's like, "Well, why don't I just cut the line?" And Stark learns that lesson and almost kills himself in Avengers. That kind of comes full circle in Avengers 3 for everyone, where everyone's trying to save someone. They're trying to save the Time Stone and Strange. They're trying to save Gamora. Trying to save there's a couple others. And it's always failure. And Thanos is the only one willing to actually sacrifice to complete his mission. And I just thought that was really cool and eloquent. And people really notice, like the whole they'll be like, well, he can affect reality. Why doesn't he just make more products for people to survive? It's like, well, he's not a communist. He's not for welfare. But I don't know. Just that really resonated with me as like a deity character in a form of literature and like essentially modern mythology. And I thought it was a really cool play on like a death character essentially. And I love Josh Brolin, and one of my favorite movies is a Josh Brolin movie, No Country for Old Men, which is also has a character that is very much a nihilist and can rival the Joker in a different aspect. So yeah, it just blew me away, especially with like a blockbuster kind of cookie cutter format that is superhero films and blockbusters as of late. But I also think that Avengers 3 is sort of like the end of modern cinema that we know it. I think it's kind of the death, the whole sequence of Avengers and DC and stuff universes, I think can kill cinema as far as like good film that doesn't make a lot of money because everyone's trying to make their next universe. So it's a double-edged sword where it's like, man, this is so beautiful. It's so much work, but it's also going to kill creativity.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from there. So, DJD, do you have some comments here? And then we'll go on from there.
Yes, indeed. All right. So for me, pretty much it's similar to what Adam said. I'm going to say 2 because I cheat. Obviously, I'm an evil person, so I have to play the part. Doomcock, clearly, character of the year when I found him, and he's been consistent throughout the year. Definitely quite the character. And Thanos, because I thought they were going to fuck that up, and joyfully they did not. So Thanos did not shank it. At least the critical characters, those two that shaped the year in special ways. In my mind, Doomcock's always fun when you watch him. Thanos is executed properly. If they don't do Thanos properly, no one gives a shit about the sequel. It's that much. And Thanos will probably shape the next batch of films and everything else. It's pretty much that. Oh yeah, and the reason I'm spamming the link that I'm spamming is because my if for the new people that came in, it's because I got hit with a spam strike.
Yes, no,
as a false flag. So sub to my from now on live channel because it's gonna be there, and I'm gonna just do videos on my main channel from now
on. Before I go, Mr. Pete, do you have any comments here? Or
yes, I believe the question was which character had the best year?
Yeah, just favorite character of 2018. Doesn't need to be an actor. Just what character do you remember the most of 2018?
Well, yes, obviously Thanos, obviously Victor von Doomcock. But I would say like the most the character, or I should say characters that had a great year is this whole Jeremy clone movement. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. Hats off to proper Jeremy.
Thank you. I'm flattered and honored, and thank you, by the way, for co-hosting the Counselor Jeremy's live stream. Yeah, that's another highlight that made me very moist this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was invited, even though I'm not a Jeremy clone. I was invited to co-host the gathering of Jeremys, and I considered that a great honor. So, and if there's going to be another one, I would like to once again be the quote-unquote the outsider, representing everyone who's not a Jeremy.
Well, someone has to wrangle all the Jeremys. I know my Jeremy, which I'm not going to say which one it was in the chat.
What? So, you bastard. Yes. I knew it.
I'm not going to say who it was, but yes, my Jeremy was also in the chat.
I can tell you that Moist Jeremy is not me.
There's a Moist Jeremy?
Yeah, there's a lot of Jeremy. Yes, there's a Moist Jeremy.
Moist Jeremy, it's not me.
There's 200 of these fuckers. I have no idea.
Exactly.
You started it, proper Jeremy.
I didn't do it intentionally. I just did it to entertain myself and others, by making Jeremy's
Oh yeah. So
crap, we lost it. Wow. Apparently another Jeremy took him out because he was saying too much.
I'll go ahead and
he was giving away the secrets.
I'll give my
sorry about that.
I'll give my best characters of 2018. Obviously, I agree with you guys with Thanos. I think he's awesome, and I think that his character is more complex, way beyond than what we saw in Infinity War. And I completely sympathize him when I'm stuck in rush hour traffic outside of Washington, D.C. I wish I had the Infinity Gauntlet that I could just snap and then I'll be home in like 20 minutes instead of an hour and a half. But the character of the year for me, and I'm going to go a different direction. Obviously, Doomcock he's legendary, but I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to say Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2 video game.
Really? Why is that?
I think Arthur Morgan, and I'm throwing this out right now. When I think of my most memorable characters in any kind of movie, they go, and Star Wars is just, I'm so biased towards Star Wars and I love it so much. Darth Vader is my number one character overall that I've ever watched a film or comic or played a game with. Darth Vader. And then Luke Skywalker. And number 3, taking the spot, is Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan is such a complex, because the best thing about Red Dead Redemption 2, and I don't want to go too much into games here because I don't know how much everybody in the chat or just everyone in here is into gaming. But
yeah, I've yet to play it.
I would.
Oh, I personally love the first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I love the first one.
All right, so I will give I will not give any spoilers towards Arthur Morgan though.
Thank you.
But he has one of the greatest character arcs. And the thing is, as long as you take the time to play his character, take the time to do the side quests, take the time to help the stranger on the side of that got bit by a snake, things like that. Take the time in the game of Red Dead Redemption 2 to do those things. And you can essentially create Arthur Morgan to be a character that reflects yourself. And the thing is, you start out, and this is no spoiler, Arthur Morgan's a bad guy. He's a very bad guy. He's part of the Vanderlyn gang. You learn that from the trailers that he's a bad guy. He's part of a gang. What do? They rob, they steal all this stuff. But there's so many things that you can control within the narrative that can reflect your own personal life choices. And that at the end of the game, you get to reflect on those choices that you've made, whether it's good, bad, things like that. You can reflect on what you've done and, how it influences the story and whatnot and the endings and everything. The fact that Rockstar was able to make a character like that and the voice actor Roger Clark that played Arthur Morgan is absolutely incredible. That's why I give Arthur Morgan, honestly, I'm going to give him my character of the year. So I'm going to go out and say Arthur Morgan's my character of the year. So those of you that want to play Red Dead,
I personally loved. I love Marston from the first game.
God,
so
I absolutely love John Marston too.
What's it? Yeah, John Marston is awesome, and he was he was one of those guys that just
he was in a shitty situation,
which is great about the Red Dead games.
The redemption part. And
exactly. It's called Red Dead Redemption for a reason.
The best part about Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2, they live up to the titles. Red, Dead, and Redemption. It lives up to it. So, but I know there's people in the chat, and I know there's people in this chat here that we're having right now that haven't beat the game or played the game. So I don't want to spoil anything. But I just want to say Arthur Morgan, if you are playing Red Dead 2 or want to play it, take your time, enjoy the character, and make the most out of it, because you will, in the end, love every decision that you have made. So that is my take on the characters of 2018. So now we're going to go on to a little bit of fun fact. We're going to twist her up here. We're going to do something that I introduced 3 weeks ago. I'm throwing it at you guys on a surprise here. Does anybody have a body of water of the week that they want to nominate? Water. It could be anything. Give me a body of water and give me a fun fact.
I do. Hold on. Let me get it. Hold on. It's in my fridge.
All right, just give me one fun fact. Just some random fun fact.
Okay, for some reason, I think you might be presenting DJD.
Am I?
Maybe, because on the video it just shows his icon.
Oh.
Well, that's all right. There's a problem.
Well, good thing I wasn't showing where I was going. Is that I was linking my fucking new chat, my old channel, all over the place.
I'm very confused. How do
on the Twitters? That's not good.
I don't know. Oh, I think it's fixed now. Yeah, it's switching back and forth now. I don't know how long the delay is, but it's switching back and forth now. So obviously, whatever you did, you fixed it. Just wanted to let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. You said name one interesting fact about a water you have.
Yes, just any water. Yeah.
Okay. Well, could I nominate a sparkling spring water?
Anything you want.
Okay, it's organic. There we go.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's a brand called
The Movie Man wants the Amazon River. Just throwing that out there.
River. Yeah, it's just called Sana Eye. It's pretty good. It's organic. It's strawberry flavored. I highly recommend it if you see it in the store. So pick it up.
All right. So we got any other bodies of water?
The sweat that comes off of Angus Young at every AC/DC show. You're welcome, Black Angus.
Oh, that is great.
Yes, because you know, just like, and this comes from like somebody who's like 4 feet tall. Yeah, it's just like he's this like little guy, and he dresses up as a schoolboy, even though he's in his 60s, and it's just like this illusion that's just like, oh, he's a little kid, he's just a schoolboy, he can't hurt us. But no, he just runs around and just, I don't know, man. There's just something about it. There's something about it that's just you
primal.
tend to focus. Yeah, it is primal, and in some ways, and also you know, there are a lot of like singers who will you know, like David Lee Roth occasionally will overshadow Eddie Van Halen. Ozzy Osbourne obviously will overshadow, you know, Randy Rhoads in a show, or Zakk Wylde. Jimi Hendrix, well, he was both, so he doesn't count. But I mean, the point is, you know, usually like a lot of people share the spotlight. You know, it's not like that Angus does not share the spotlight, but you know, it's like a situation where, like, I'll give you an example. Slash will sometimes outshine Axl. Axl will outshine Slash, you know, but in AC/DC, it's always Angus.
Oh,
it's always
hey, you know,
Angus.
it's funny. It's funny you're saying that because I don't know the context of this concert. But apparently, there was a concert years ago with Slash and Michael Jackson, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that footage, but Slash is like purposely pissing off Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's like,
Oh, that was
he's trying to like end it or take it over, and Slash just keeps doing his solo and stuff. And
he's just like,
even when Michael Jackson,
hey!
and then he's trying to like play it off like, hey, I'm having fun, but like really he's like, oh my god, let me have the spotlight now. And Slash just like, fuck you, Michael Jackson. And it's funny because I'm not a big Guns N' Roses fan. I think they got a lot of success off of one record.
True.
And overhyped, I would say. Like a really great race, like Nazareth. Nazareth is known for Hair of the Dog. You listen to the rest of their catalog, it's like, ugh. That's really all he had was Hair of the Dog as a record.
we can talk about that some other time, though.
So
yeah, it's totally derailing from the moistness.
Yes, the sweat from Angus Young is my nomination.
Super fan Adam Shawhan, do you have a body of water you'd like to nominate?
I'm going to go off of Proper here just because, and unfortunately, the person I was going to talk about just left our chat because he had to go do something. But I was going to say the tears that had to fall from Lethal Lightning's eyes from either A, being too drunk, or B, hanging out with that vegan, because the only thing he can do, because he wants Kathleen Kennedy, but he won't let her out of the closet, is he found himself a good vegan.
Yeah. Right, so I will give my nomination here, and mine is going to be a surprise. No one took it. It's a big one. It's going to be the Atlantic Ocean. The Titanic sank in it. It was supposed to unsink. It was supposed to unsink, not sink, but it sunk. So yeah, there's that. So DVD. Anybody else?
It's also the home of Aquaman.
This is accurate. I was going to say Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Yes, it's amazing sport fishing. The Port of Chicago. Yeah, Port of Chicago. That's an amazing port right there. There's some fine insanity that's happened on the Lake Michigan. Crazy shit that's spotted on there sometimes because why not? You know, space aliens, all that fun. It's a massive lake. Obviously, go Michigan Wolverines, all that fun stuff.
Oh my God, you're a Wolverine! Oh,
that might upset Ohio State fans. I don't know.
I know.
Oh, boo!
That might upset some Ohio State fans.
Hey, Brandon Moise.
Man, I actually went to the University of Michigan to watch the Penn State game this year.
Nice.
I had a good time in Ann Arbor. It was a good time. even though we lost really badly. It was
Well, the food's pretty good around there, so that's the other
very
bonus.
good and very good beer and very good bars. But
Yeah, that is true.
So did everybody here give a nomination of Body of Water? I think so.
No, they got pretty nice beaches and bitches. Both of those they have in Lake Michigan area.
I was going to offer
in the chat here. Ron Navy, hot water freezes faster than cold water. Yes, it does. And also Cinedave. Please correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Cinedave. That's how I'm seeing it. He said he puked in Lake Michigan once, so good for you, man. That's we've all been there at one point.
Good.
Movie man. The North Atlantic was. I was gonna guess. Yeah, the North Atlantic is very cold. Ron Navy. I'm a huge Penn State fan. We are Penn State. Hey, we got to beat the Kentucky Wildcats on January 1st in the Citrus Bowl. So hopefully we will do such. The Big Ten did not do us very good today, though, with Purdue 56-7 at halftime. Hope you didn't have Purdue in that game, because I might have lost $100 betting on Purdue. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go into our next subject, and let's not talk about
moist. If I just wanted to add, I saw this on Twitter just now. I was trying to read this article. Listen to this title.
Oh,
all right, this is about Aquaman. It says, "Oh yikes! An interview with a marine biologist about Aquaman. Turns out the DC film took some liberties depicting underwater life."
Oh my god. Okay, so
here we go.
Okay, all right. All right. So,
oh dear.
All right, Black Angus, do you have it on your laptop or whatever you can share?
See, and that's the fun.
I'm on my phone, so no, I could.
That's the fun stuff. I'm battling against at all times, and for that they strike me with the spam because they can't get me on anything else because I always have the links in the description, backing up everything I'm saying. So yeah, gotta love that.
All right, so before we move into a remember stage of people that we lost here, which could get us down, Black Angus, do you want to please elaborate on the article that you've just read?
I'm sorry, what?
I'll say what you said about Aquaman, the article that you had just read.
Yeah, about the sea life, how it's not.
Yeah. I just read about the first couple of paragraphs. He was interested in Aquaman stuff. It seemed all fun or whatever, and so he got the idea to ask a marine biologist. Let me see the name. Try to find where is that.
Mr. Pete, are you shocked of this accusation?
Yeah, I mean, okay, all right, yeah, I know, Aurum was riding a Lepleurodon, and they've been extinct for 65 million years, but it's a movie where you have to leave your brain at the door, to enjoy it. That's what a lot of people just can't do.
No, it's just funny.
They leave their brain somewhere, all right.
No, see, it's funny to me, and I remember before I saw the movie, I did a live stream with Jeff Darrow, and he had Jesse Milestone talking about it. And I hadn't seen the movie, but I'm actually, at least I feel I'm pretty good. Or at least, maybe I was just prepared because it's Aquaman, I don't know, but I did pretty well with gathering info from what they're saying and asking questions, kind of piece out what to expect from it or whatever. So we're talking spoilers, and that was fine. And nothing from that really spoiled the movie for me. I could you could kind of feel the beats were coming. It's not a big surprise movie, but I remember asking about the power dynamic of Aquaman and Atlanteans. If any of it, if they're so powerful that you could blame Aquaman or his people for allowing catastrophes to happen, and even if they were powerful enough to do that, they have a couple lines in the movie that kind of show you their idea of justice as sea dwellers being polluted by land dwellers, and as Aquaman as a superhero that might differ with, say, Superman. And so that kind of explains that. And I asked all that because the social significance, I was wondering before I saw this how powerful they would show the Atlanteans, and if the SJWs would try to latch on to another representation, because he got I'm assuming Mo's actually Polynesian descendant or Hawaiian or what have you.
I think.
And they love to grab onto my diversity and stuff. And Yeah, but there's nothing to really critique this movie on compared to, say, for me with Black Panther, because they made it such a social cause with Black Panther. None of that's happening with Aquaman. So just off the bat, the way they sell this movie, they're not selling you something as like a social cause. There's a little vein about environmentalism, but it's like a natural argument that's like it's not about global warming, it's about pollution, and it's legitimate. And so it's just funny that they're trying to attack Aquaman off of the science angle. Maybe they're actually trying to educate you with using pop culture to like snag your attention, some clickbait. Because he's talking at first like, "Oh, is Atlantis real?" or like, "Where was Atlantis?" And he's saying like, "Oh, it's supposed to be probably where Crete is or something." That's about all we know. And then he's talking about it's kind of weird that we're the only primates that are bald, essentially, and so that may indicate we have an aquatic affinity compared to the other apes. So that's as far as I've gotten. It's about halfway through. It sounds kind of interesting. It sounds kind of in the vein of stuff I talk about or am interested in studying in my own with like evolutionary biology. But it's just a weird way to sell this article. To be like, oh, Aquaman got some sea life aspects wrong. It's like, yeah, he's a fucking fish dude. Like he telepathically talks to fish. Like, what do you expect?
Like when have you met someone like that? So right now we are at our hour mark. We're gonna have our annual "I need to piss" moment that I will pass it off to DJD to hang out with.
Yes, indeed.
No, you're not familiar.
Exactly.
At the hour mark, I always need to piss, so I do so, and I always pass it off the DJD show. But what I'd like to pass it off to with the DJD show right now is let's start talking about before we all get really sad. Or I would say actually, I'm going to give you guys advice. Do we want to talk about the Star Wars theory film right now, or do you want to save that till after who we talk about who we lost? As in, like,
afterwards, because
I'd say after.
because we don't want to end on a low
Yeah, we don't want to end on a
sad moment.
DJD, as always, until I'm back from pissing in about 30 seconds, please take over and lead us into the discussion of who we unfortunately lost this year in creativity and in storytelling.
Oh, god dang, I'm screwed on that one. I don't have the list.
Oh, I do have a few
All
people.
right, so proper Jeremy, do that one.
I got a list of not really a list. There's like 9 people that stood out to me. You know, people who I recognize personally. The first one being Arlie Ermy, who was in he was in a few different movies. He was in Full Metal Jacket. He's the sergeant that was yelling at everybody and was an inspiration for a lot of memes. He was also in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, the remake ones, you know, in 2003 and 2006. 2003, by the way, that was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And part of that was, you know, because of his polarizing character, and he was just such a douche. But he was awesome. He's also the leader of the plastic, you know, army men in Toy Story. He's awesome. You know, God rest his soul. Mini Me, we lost him. Vern Troyer.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he passed away in April. You know, he's 49 years old. You know, he's even small for like a little person too. So that was extraordinarily, you know, sad to hear. You know, a lot of people shouted him out. Of course, we can't forget Margaret Kidder, who was Lois Lane in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. And she was in a few other films. She was in Black Christmas.
Died by, oh my god.
Wait, you forgot about that?
Well, no, it's Mini-Me. I didn't realize how he died.
Oh, what?
Alcohol poisoning, suicide by.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You didn't know that?
I did not realize. No, I thought it was last year. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I watched recently. I just saw Adam Sandler on Netflix, or you can just look it on YouTube. Adam Sandler's tribute to Chris Farley. Chris Farley to me is the all-time greatest comedian, like live action comedian ever. Like
for physical comedy, sure,
like,
and you know yeah.
And the thing is, what kills me, when, like you listen to interviews and all this stuff. The biggest thing that I watched, it was like I Am Chris Farley, and he said he's like, well, they're like, what matters to you? He's like, all I want to do is make my dad laugh. He's like, that's all I want to do in life. And oh my god, it just killed me. I'm just like, damn it. You would be pulling up 3 right now. But sorry to go on that rampage there. But please continue.
No, it makes sense. You know, we lose a lot of people to substance abuse or people who have gone through it at some point. You know, and you just it really sucks.
And anybody that is like in the chat or like, I mean, you don't have to be a big fucking superstar to be going through that abuse or whatever. If you just need to talk to anybody about like what you're going through, if you're not having a good time, if you don't love life, if you're in a bad spot, literally reach out to any of us. All of us here, I'm going to speak for all of us. We're more than happy to talk to you. We will take time out of our day to talk to you and to tell you that you care, that you matter, and that we're glad to have you in our lives, even if it's digitally through social media. We are glad to have you a part of us.
100% true. And Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's Margaret, but I just don't know how to pronounce it, I guess. But yeah, it was her birth name. But no, but anyways, yeah. But going back to that, what you were talking about, Brandon. Yeah. I mean, I've had, you know, I've had family members, you know, who have suffered, but like, you know, me as well, and like to some certain extent. But you know, it's just all about just like trying to open up. You don't try to. You can't really solve any problems if you don't bring it up. So, you know, just don't be afraid to, even if it means, you know, being vulnerable for a few minutes. You know, just say something, because it's better than not saying anything and just, you know, being gone and nobody knows why you did what you did or what happened or anything. You know, it's really sad. And that's something that I just didn't even realize, you know, until like I forgot that that's how it happened. And, you know, and with Vern Troyer, I actually, you know, I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't know that was his cause of death at all. Yeah. Like I heard about it. I thought it was natural causes.
Yeah.
But he had his demons. He had his demons.
And yeah, it's like the thing is, and what, and also when we look at comedy, like mainstream comedy, I feel like so many of us are just looking at people like, oh, you know, they're so relatable, and a lot of people there are so relatable. You know, Chris Farley, like he was so fucking relatable to a lot of people whenever he would just talk about just like trying to do stupid shit to make people proud or like whatever. Even when you look back at Adam Sandler, David Spade, like his other two compatriots, their early careers, they were just trying to have fun, make fun of people, and do whatever. And what does a lot of people gravitate to is comedy. And the sad part is comedy hides a lot of demons. And but the thing is, people are afraid to talk about those demons, but they'll talk about them through comedy. And one thing that, you know, having the Moist Cast here, you know, don't be afraid to talk about your demons. And like, you know, if you don't want to, like, please just, you know, message me or whatever. Message any of us here. Like, we will hear from you. Like, we do not want you to be out there in the world thinking no one cares about you. Like, even though we may have never met, like, please just message us. We don't care. Like, we will talk to you. We will set aside time from our days to make sure that you're okay, to tell that you matter. I mean, you're a person, you matter. Like, we're all here. We all have opinions. Hell, you've heard us ranting about our opinions for the last hour and a half about entertainment. Hell, your opinions on life matter a hell of a lot more than our opinions on entertainment, and we're glad to hear and talk to you about that. So.
Oh, definitely. Like I've said numerous times, we're all people first and foremost. You know, every one of us have a different opinion on something, but hell, we're all people first, you know, and I haven't met any single person on any of these streams that I've been a part of, they would not take time out if there is someone, you know, in need, except for you, Lethal, because your thick problem has got to go away with that Kathleen Kennedy. Just because you close your eyes and pretend that your vegan girlfriend is Kathleen Kennedy doesn't make it so, my friend. Thick fam forever, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, you only roast the ones you love.
Yeah, so sorry to go on that kind of a bit of a rant there, but just, you know, it just, you know, seeing so many celebrities and just comedians that I love have committed suicide or just died through unfortunate means related to such, I just had to rant on that. But
it's all good though, man. It's your show for one, but two, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, Belushi,
right,
you know, we lost Belushi, Farley. You turn around, Robin Williams, for fuck's sake. Not even.
Oh, Jesus.
I cried my ass off.
I'm feeling sad now, guys.
But
we gotta get it out of the way. We gotta get it out of the way.
Vegan. Lethal and a vegan pretending it's Kathleen Kennedy because he wants to do horrible things to Kathleen Kennedy that are so bad we cannot put it on this stream because it would have to be rated X.
Yeah, let's please not do that. But
no, not now. Not now.
All right, so let's look back though and remember, as what we were doing, some of the people that we lost in 2018. Yes, we did lose Mini-Me, which got me on that whole tangent there.
Yeah.
The big name in the room here is Stan Lee. And
right.
So
yeah.
Pete seems excited here. I'm going to give Mr. Pete a minute to gather his thoughts here. But does anybody here want to give your thoughts on Stan Lee's passing?
I felt it.
Yeah, that was goddamn terrible. And then, again, the stuff I fight against, which, I'm not going to say it again, which led to, you know what? Me bitching about the SOBs on Twitter that crapped on him. The day of him dying, I have no problem if I get taken off YouTube because I'm still going to bitch about it on Twitch and goddamn stream me. I'm still going to say what I got to say, but that is why. You need somebody to scream at those morons on Twitter that it's not right on the day a man dies to start crapping all over his life. That's not right.
And hours after it happened and it was announced.
Yeah,
it was despicable.
Disgusting.
As we talk about Stan Lee, I'm going to go last. And I have another death that I'd like to bring up then. But I would say Mr. Pete, Black Angus, Adam, PJ. What would you guys have to say here?
Yeah, I mean, Stan Lee, what an inspirational guy. What a creative guy. I mean, words can't describe his accomplishments and what he did. And by the way, he did serve in World War II as a yes, he worked in the communications department. He was like he made like morale boosting like artwork and
what you could not have found a better man to do so.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
So much more now. Looking back.
And he was writing stories, about like differences and diversity back then, and like what DJ G said, like these horrible comments from these people who truly have no idea what they're talking about. Like it's just I found that more because let's face it. Mm-hmm. Stan Lee lived his life. I believe he was 95 when he passed away, or 96.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was on 90.
Yeah, he lived a long, good, wonderful life, and I mean, what got me more upset were all those nasty, negative comments than his actual passing. So yeah, I mean, thank you, Mr. Stanley. His real name is Stanley Lieberich, by the way. So. Thank you very much, Mr. Stanley, Stan the Man Lee Lieberich. Thank you. Great guy. And Steve Ditko too. Let's not forget about Steve Ditko. He passed away earlier in the year too, I believe.
Yeah, he did. We lost two greats this year, and it goes. We even lost Adam West before that, and of course, see, the dogs are pissed. But yeah, all I can say is, as I put in the chat, man, true believer forever. If it wasn't for Stan Lee, we wouldn't have half the stuff that we're here talking about and passionate about and loving about.
I say,
yeah, exactly.
Has everybody gone here?
I don't think everyone's gone.
Black
No,
Angus,
we're here.
A couple, a few mutes, but we're all still here. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, we're here.
I'll put mine here. So obviously Stan Lee, you guys have covered it. I don't need to talk about it more. But I'll tell you, the one that struck me hardcore was Steven Hillenburg, the creator, drawer of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh yeah, he wasn't that old.
No.
He's in his he's like 50, upper 50s. I forget what disease he had.
Was it? I think it was dementia or something.
It was I forget. I don't know what it was, but it was.
Yeah, he had ALS.
ALS. That's what. Yes.
Sorry.
Fuck ALS.
You know what's funny? You know it's not funny, but a friend of mine I went to Ohio University, and there's this semester in LA program that's it's every year in Los Angeles, and they set us up in these nice places and everything. And one of the people that was in my program, in my class, they got an internship at the Nickelodeon studios, and they worked and she hung out with Steven Hillenburg all the time.
That's all.
So I'd love to reach out to her and ask what he was like, because
and the thing is, like,
yeah,
and I say in the chat here, I say Johnny Five, my childhood down the drain, and yeah, we also did lose Stephen Hawking, Lethal Lightning. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
We can talk about this here after, but Steven Hillenburg, when I actually saw that, and one of the things that I saw, I typed in Steven Hillenburg on Twitter, and one of the first things that I saw, it was a GIF. It was like a GIF or just a meme that someone made. You know how memeable SpongeBob is now.
Right.
The most memeable show of all time.
Yeah, one of them.
But the thing is, someone made a meme, and it was SpongeBob sitting on like a bench, crying his eyes out with Spider-Man having his arm around him, saying it's.
That was very reminiscent of when Jim Henson died.
That fucking killed me.
Yeah, when Jim Henson passed away, there was an artist who drew Kermit the Frog like sitting on a log, and then Mickey Mouse was having his hand over his shoulder.
Yep.
The exact same thing.
And to answer Hallmark Jeremy, who lives in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob fucking SquarePants, baby. He still lives there. And
Moist.
And he is our sponge under the sea. But no, I honestly and unfortunately yesterday, and not to get us all down again, but yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of the day that we lost our princess. We lost Carrie Fisher 2 years ago yesterday.
Oh, that's Carrie. Oh.
And I'll start this out right now. I'll start it out, and we'll go through here. But after we're talking about how we lost our favorite celebrities, our favorite.
This is a dark stream like the goddamn DC universe.
We will be going out on a high note and talking about our favorite memories of everything. But when I saw that Carrie Fisher had, it was I don't cry for celebrities when they pass usually, even though I might be a big fan of them, blah blah blah. I might know all about them, but I usually don't cry because I don't know them personally. I'm just like, oh damn, this sucks. When I saw that Carrie Fisher had passed, I remember I got in the car with my mom, and we were going to go grocery shopping because I was home for Christmas. I was home till after New Year's. And she's like, you look really sad. I'm just like, well, Mom, I just saw on Twitter that Carrie Fisher had died. She's like, she was Princess Leia, wasn't she? And I was like, yes, she was. And then I just started crying. And my mom's like, you didn't even know her. Like, why are you crying? I'm just like, Mom, I need this. She's one of the most iconic characters I've ever fucking known. Like, I need this. Like, I honestly, I didn't know what to tell my mom. I'm just like, I didn't know this character. I didn't know this woman. I didn't know her. But I just had this attachment that I'm just like, a part of us, a part of this great community just left us. So unfortunately young. And I mean, I'm anxious to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was the not counting family members that passed away. That was the and no offense to all the horrible people we lost on that tragic day, but that was the saddest. Hearing that news, that was the saddest I've been since the 9/11 attacks. It literally felt like somebody punched me in the gut. I mean,
and the thing is, that's when you know a story, a fake story, has got you so encaptivated, and the fact that we long for that in this society. The fact that we can, but when we look back at it, the fact that a story that was written in the 1970s can still make you feel that way towards the person that played that character is just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, oh, okay. Frank just came back. Okay.
Welcome, Frank.
Oh, wait. Do we have Adam before? Now this is Frank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can continue, Mr. Pete.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she was my first screen love. I mean, I just loved her. The way she acts, the way she looks. She had those gorgeous girl next door looks, and yeah, it was just what a punch in the gut. That's what it truly felt like to me. And she I mean, the thing is, she was on that damn plane. Maybe if she was on the ground, maybe she would have had a better chance of living. But unfortunately, when you're 40,000 feet up, there's only so many options, and yeah, it was very sad. I still don't know why. I still don't know why the jet went all the way to LA. I don't know why they didn't land like in somewhere in Texas or Phoenix or something, because they should have got that plane down as soon as possible, especially when somebody has a heart attack on a plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know what the situation, what you do there, but Black Angus or DJD, do you guys want to come on here?
No, the Carrie Fisher thing wasn't a big deal to me. I'm a prequel kid, so there wasn't like an emotional attachment. I've come into the original trilogy later, and honestly, I do not like Princess Leia. I find her character, her motivation isn't really like, she's very flat as a character without the prequels to justify the background to the Empire, because as smart as Star Wars is, the original Star Wars just as its own movie, as a starting point for a series, it kind of hinders itself, because Leia has this, you can argue she's in a terrorist organization, or at least she's a rebel. She's rebelling against the institutionalized government.
Exactly.
And
good point.
And she's she's got this good guy resolve, the way people stereotype Captain America as like this Boy Scout. Like, she actually has that, where it's just like she's got this motive, she's good on this side just because, and she has this resolve before Alderaan happens. And as far as we know, especially with Rogue One, no one knows about Jeddah happening before.
Yeah, until the movie.
Yeah, I know. Rogue One came 40 years later as a movie, but they wrote it in a way where it's like no one's aware of this happening, even in the rebellion, or the ones that were, they're all taken out, and luckily Leia just gets out just before. So yeah, they never really address like her knowledge of what's going on down on the ground, or Jeddah before that. But yeah, that really actually annoys me that people, just gravitate to her. And it's like she's a blind believer and she doesn't even care about Alderaan when it happens. Yeah, she's got stuff to take care of on her own, but I don't know. Like, I get so irritated with like it's really disgusting what they do with Stan Lee right when he died.
Black Angus, before you get rolling here, look at the comments here. Hallmark Channel Jeremy says blasphemy. Angus blasphemy.
Yeah. Black Angus, we're gonna have to step outside now. Which was
Well, no. Like, see, I love.
We're gonna have to go to the alley.
Is that what I missed? I go to the bathroom for less than 20 seconds, and then this happens.
He dished our princess. What am I supposed to do? Just stand there and accept it?
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly.
I get. It's like it's not me trying to be like, oh, I'm going to be an edgy guy. It's like I know it's a sensitive subject for people, but for me, it's like I'm a little biased because I love the dark side and all the bad guys because usually they have better story arcs as like people.
I'm a big dark side guy.
But yeah, like I've come around to Captain America, and he's a pretty he's kind of an idealist, kind of a realist. He's always trying to do the good thing, and I actually buy that, and I find him endearing. That as opposed to Leia, where it's just like she just seems blind, and she doesn't seem challenged for like the organization she's fighting for. Like it's blind belief. And you need the prequels to actually justify her stance, as far as you know. And after the first movie, you see a little bit in the second one, but like they start interjecting like the love story with Solo, and then she just becomes like Solo's girlfriend and Luke's sister in the third one. And it's like as high as they started, I feel like her progression really goes downhill as a character growing. To like be inspired by, like the whole like strong woman thing that is really a big deal now with her character. And you see it in two ways with Leia, where it seems like Star Wars has become this really fake fan base, especially with like the Last Jedi fans and stuff and all like the Disney shills, where it's like, how can you like this if you like original Star Wars? Even if you ignore the prequels, it's like there doesn't seem to be like a continuity there. And so you got that aspect where like everyone's just out of nowhere caring about Carrie Fisher when that was really her only role that she's known for. And it wasn't like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you like Star Wars, you only talked about it with Star Wars fans. You were, even though it's the most easily accessible nerd culture like sci-fi thing as opposed to Star Trek or something, it's more in depth. It's still a nerd thing. And so I'm a little jaded with like all these. I feel phony fans are like sharing, oh, Leia, I care stuff, and it's like where were you 15 years ago? But you'll see the reverse of it with Stan Lee, where it's like trendy to crap on him and jump on this. Oh, he was a racist or something. It's like
racist, but also he wrote a 1960s op-ed that just destroyed all of your entire basis essentially.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, like no, I totally get people. Oh, sorry.
I want to get some other people.
Oh yeah.
So DJD, Frank, PMC, or PJ. Do you guys want to respond to Black Angus? Like, I'd love to hear some debate.
Sure. Like, I don't know hate for Angus. Angus is a good dude.
Like, I know you guys have a lot of great opinions, and I love Black Angus laid it out there, and I love that he did. And he had a lot of great valid points, and I'd love to hear just some responses between you guys.
Angus, your opinions are wrong, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
It's
all right, Angus.
Son of a bitch.
Wiener Dog Clan and
I had to say that.
With you. You're fine.
But no, I'd love to hear some debate between you guys. I mean, I think this is great for this community because I also feel like this kind of debate shows that this community is the complete opposite of the fucking bum asshole who flagged DJD being as a fucking like, a bigot or just like, this is not appropriate for YouTube. Complete horse shit. We embrace debate. We want debate. Like, this is what we want. Like, please discuss.
So the thing is, in the 70s, the reason she was as big as she was because you didn't have that in film, really. The women didn't have any heroes. I'm not to argue, but it's just because you're Brown Rookie's age, right?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are younger. DJ and I are kind of the old dogs here. to say the least. And it's just one of those things. We kind of saw it. The times are so different now from what they were then. So that's why it was quite a big thing for her. You know, we had Princess Leia. She stepped up. You know, she was kind of like the first feminist, basically. You know, or strong female. And you guys do a lot of movies and other stuff too. So I mean, I know you've seen it as well.
Well, when you see it, like whenever you looked at. You know, you look at like pictures of the premiere of The Last Jedi. What do you see? You see Rey and Princess Leia. Like,
yep,
Rey or Princess Leia. It's like one of the two.
Well, and that, to me, it was almost like, okay, here's Leia to push Disney's motive of Rey. You know,
and here's Leia,
the blank tuna box.
Told Han and Luke where to be, even though she wasn't technically the most powerful, but she still told them where to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, you know, but that's what we had. But that was the 70s. You know, this is we're way past the 70s now. So, you know, I can understand where Angus has got his points. Doesn't mean y'all got to give him hate, though. Now, no taking him out to the alley, no grilling him up into hamburgers. Come on now. He's one of us. Opinions matter, even if they're wrong. It's okay.
No, well, to add to that, like rewatching it as an adult, because of my love for the prequels, I grew up and I kind of came into the original trilogy. Used to be I'd watch him like, it's Star Wars, but it's not. It didn't have the flash, I guess, is like the biggest thing. But growing up, I learned like I always related to the story of Anakin and his fall a lot. Outside of just liking dark side guys, I really related to like his motive, and then. You would watch. For me, I'd watch the original trilogy and be like, okay, yeah, it's Star Wars, but it's not my Star Wars. But I've grown into it and I appreciate it. I love the storytelling of the first two, especially. Return of the Jedi is really wonky, but it still is Star Wars, and it's a nice bow on the end of the trilogy, regardless of like the Ewoks. But like Leia, she starts out really hot, and given like this modern context of feminism being thrown at you in every angle with every medium that you deal with, whether it's cooking an egg and whether that's sexist or Rey is a Mary Sue, etc. I watched Leia being in this modern context, and I'm like, I don't feel threatened by her. She's taking charge, like she's just quick on her feet, and so as opposed to like Han is a smuggler, maybe he's not actually good in the heat of the moment, and Luke's a dumb little twat off of Tatooine that doesn't know anything. He's got big aspirations, but he's never been tested. So she makes sense. She's been in this rebellion for a while. Like all that connotation makes sense, but then like her progression really peters out after that. Like it's fine that she's a princess and they subvert that, and I get the strong woman aspect. I don't feel threatened by it. But I just think it's overblown. I think it's really just focused on that first movie, and
also like she even said like somebody has to get us out of here when they're rescuing the princess, whatever. She's just like, okay, somebody has to get us out of here. She shoots the garbage track thing.
The chute, yeah.
The fly
garbage chute. Yeah, she's like, okay, this is our way out. You guys in? I don't care. I'm out. It's like somebody has to save our skins,
Exactly.
And it didn't feel forced. It just felt very natural, and that's something that's very missing because, like even a friend of mine who visited me a while ago, she said like, we do need to have like more, female representation. We do need to have more diversity. I said like, well, what's the point if it's shit, if it's a shit film and it's just like it kind of like there to be there? It's like
exactly.
we have to start somewhere. I'm just like, okay, but we're not going to give credit. I'm not going to give anybody credit just because you tried. I'm not going to give you a participation trophy. You have to actually do something and actually have it, I don't know, work. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, you can make it work.
Here's my take on when it comes to like representation and stuff. I feel like having minority groups, whether it's racial, sexual orientation, things like that, it's great to have those groups represented because they are present in society, and no one can turn a blind eye to that because they're a meaningful part to society. But when you give them a role that diminishes them And if you don't give them a role that like, all right, so like, hey, you're gonna be, I am like Rose Tico's sister. Oh, I'm gonna blow up in the first 10 seconds of the movie. There's no way you can connect with that movie. You cannot connect with that character. It's like, okay, then you got Rose Tico. Okay, all of a sudden, I am now all of a sudden on board with Rose Tico. How the fuck did I get here? You need to give that character a broader stance. Give them a great stance. And the thing is, Rose Tico, and I'm sure EVS would love this, and he probably does already, has a good chance to be a great character. However, she was written in such a poor way that fans, or even just a layman fan, might not have been able to connect. It's like, okay, all of a sudden your sister's dead. Okay, congratulations. And then you're just like, okay, now all of a sudden now you're giving us a lesson on socioeconomic privilege. Okay, where the fuck did you come from? And then all of a sudden, now you just saved Finn from what might have been one of the greatest sacrifices in Star Wars history. He was going to sacrifice himself against the Empire. I will say the Empire.
Thank you, Frank.
Hush puppies.
I will say that Finn would have if Finn would have sacrificed himself against the Empire and he would have destroyed it to save the rest of the rebellion, I would have fucking loved it. I was rooting for it, not because Finn's a black character. I didn't want to see him go. I thought Finn was a great character. I thought that Finn going against the Empire, that he was ready to sacrifice himself. I'm like, that is noble as fuck. That is a character that put the world above himself, and that made me respect that character beyond what I thought. And I said, that's a guy that I could live up to say, if the world's bigger than what I want, it's what I want everyone else to want. But then Rose fucking comes in and ruins it.
You know what would actually make episode 9 great? If they address it. If Finn just despises Rose because of that, and there's like a little side thing, that'll be just like a little thing that will help the movie so much. He just said, like, dude, you completely like missed the point of why I was trying to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's a whole conversation for another day.
I would say, Mr. Pete, please take over in the comments. I feel like you have some hot takes.
Yeah. As Black Angus pointed out, like he thought that Leia's character like progressed downward through the original trilogy, and yes, I can see that. I'm
agree as well.
I'm open-minded, but she did kill Jabba. Han didn't kill him. Luke didn't kill him. She killed him with a chain around his neck. So that was very noble and heroic. And I actually hate the Predator more, but the Predator more. But I despise the Last Jedi, one of the worst movies of all time. But yeah, like when Finn was gonna sacrifice himself. I mean, I'm not a huge Finn fan, but I was like, yeah. Oh, what a noble sacrifice that he was going to do. That one act would have totally redeemed his character in my eyes. And what do we get? Some grandiose speech about the power of love and but the Proper Jeremy, I think it was Proper Jeremy, said like they should have, it would be great if they should have just address it. Well, listen, guys, I really don't have any hope for episode 9. I mean, a lot of people are coming out and saying that JJ's going to change this and JJ's going to change that. But I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not hearing any of that. JJ is very SJW. He's to paraphrase him, he did that. He had that statement. I think it was in the op-ed, like, "Oh, look at the Oscars. I'm surrounded by a bunch of effing white people. You know, there's too many effing white people at the Oscars. He said that before the whole SJW thing started. You know?
Well, yeah, that's exactly pandering to your political audience. But
yeah.
And what we're seeing here in the chat,
Yeah, I'm only using one screen tonight, guys. So if any of my fans are saying hi to me, I'm sorry I can't see you.
The
infamous Johnny Five is in the house.
Everybody wants to say yes.
Everyone's favorite
Johnny Five.
Frank and the Shawn Wiener clan.
Oh,
Mr. Proper Jeremy and the DJD show live.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember saying live. But
yeah.
Can we all? I'm saying let's all shift our focus away from something negative, and let's talk about something surprisingly positive here in the Star Wars universe. And I think a few of you may know where I'm going here with this, but let's fucking talk about Star Wars theory, shards of the past, Vader series. Let's fucking go. That is the Star Wars that we are fucking looking for. Anybody want to comment?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Prop, you go, then I'll go. How about that?
Are you sure? I'll let you go first. You know, I do a lot of talking, so go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I wish it was a little longer.
I feel like I'm saying not to interject, but I feel like that's all that we wish it was long,
Yeah.
but for what we got,
I believe his. Yes.
I'm
sorry.
For the content that we got, let's let that focus.
Right.
And we also put out a lot of videos how we can get a lot more of that. So
yeah. I mean, first of all, okay, yeah. The Vader's voice was a little off, and I thought that the sets of Palpatine's room on the. What was that, a Venator class Star Destroyer? I thought it looked a little on the cheap side, but other than that, it was a fantastic film. And I don't know if you noticed any of my posts, but I've been saying this in other people's reaction videos and stuff like that. I keep saying that Disney gave us an agenda. Star Wars theories gave us a story. See
exactly. That's fucking right.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Mr. Pete, not to cut you off, but DJD, you chimed in saying that was awesome. Please continue.
No, it was definitely a fun film. No, yeah. If you want to finish, Pete, go.
Yeah, yes. So I mean, if I were to grade it, I would give it a 95. I mean, if you want to see a fine fan film with good-looking sets, I'm a big Trekkie. Look at Prelude to Axanar. Excellent sets. It's brief too. Only 20 minutes, but the sets are outstanding for that film. I think they made that film for $200,000. I think Star Wars. Did Star Wars theory have $1 million? How much? Does anybody know how much?
Over $1 million, yeah.
Over $1 million, yeah.
Or something.
And the best thing about that, because he used real 35 millimeter, film, and I believe he used Red Epic cameras, and you could see the clarity, compared to other fan films. So,
my favorite part was think back to The Force Awakens when Kylo holds that one laser bolt.
Yeah, that was definitely not
whenever you see
Kylo Red.
Whenever he Darth Vader holding thousands.
Yeah, that was great.
That is Star Wars theory saying, fuck you. Vader is exponentially more powerful than Kylo. And I fucking loved it. I'm like, yes, this is a guy that knows it.
Yeah, okay. I liked his cameo too.
Yes.
If you saw it.
Yes, I did see that.
He was Vader in the back of the room, right? Was that
spoilers?
Thought he was. Was that not him?
No, that was. I would say it's for somebody who didn't watch it.
Oh, everybody had to see it by now. I mean,
yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm just pulling your leg.
Yeah.
Okay, so hasn't seen it.
Yeah, he
Your
has.
dogs don't watch it, Adam.
What is it illegal down there or something to watch it?
He has no hope. I keep telling him to watch it. It's worth watching. Frank and the Wiener Dog Clan told him the same thing. We're like, come on, Lethal, watch it. It's worth watching. It's good. I'm telling you right now here, live stream, thick them, baby. You need to watch it. It's not that long. You'll enjoy it.
Man, I'm sorry. I'll take over here. So Lethal Lightning, if you haven't watched this, please do watch it.
Okay, yes.
Watch it. Well, here you go. Watch
I believe
come back
props
to us
next.
in the comment section, and we will get you on here for a live reaction.
Yes. I think proper now. Your turn to chime in what you thought about. Oh yeah, another thing. I thought that the title was a little odd, a little on the long side, but Shards of the Vader Volume 1, Shards of the whatever. It was I would have shortened that title, but that's okay. Prop. Yeah. So what did you think of the whole project?
Inconclusive, I guess, or incomplete. I guess.
Sure. Yes.
Because there wasn't a real climax. If on its own, it had some good moments. Like, what was the climax of that short film? I have no idea. I can't really pinpoint one.
Shit.
The thing is, when you look at the end, whenever Vader turned on his lightsaber.
Yeah, and that's it. We have no idea what's happening afterwards.
Whenever I saw that, I'm not mad that that's it. I'm just like, this is what we want. Like, this is what will make me come back. It's like if I could pay $1 billion or whatever to finance a film, I want an R-rated Darth Vader film.
Well, I would hope that would happen, but I have no idea if that will happen, because it might be making the same mistakes as The Force Awakens. It's heavily reliant on the next movie, and that's something that Star Wars Theory needs to kind of work on. I imagine that there is a plan beyond that, but again, it's heavily reliant on the next, episode of the Vader fan film series now that we've gotten ourselves into.
Time into the chat here. Johnny S says Star Wars Theory should direct The Mandalorian. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like he'd have a.
Yeah, it's Johnny 5, by the way.
But no, with Star Wars Theory, I mean, I followed him for a few years now before The Last Jedi and stuff. I am a big fan of what he does and what he has done. And if you have not seen his fan film that he has been able to create, I'm fucking blown away, beyond blown away. And the fact that he was able to tap into the emotional side of Darth Vader, which you all knew was fucking there after episode 3. You all fucking knew it was there. Don't deny it.
Yeah, we need sort of that in-between transitional period from having Anakin Skywalker really become Darth Vader. There's 20 years in between that would be so interesting to explore, but none of it has really been explored in canon aside from Rogue One, and he's already in his form by then. He's already cemented,
Exactly. So anybody else in the hangouts here? Black Angus, Frank and the Straw Hanging Wiener Dog Clan, Mr. Pete, Proper Jeremy, and DJD. You guys want to take over here? What are your thoughts on here?
I keep telling him to watch it. I say go ahead. It was worth, what is it, like 12, 13 minutes, if that?
It's like,
oh yeah, you definitely got to watch it. That's for sure.
It is better than Disney Star Wars. Okay, it's
very
enough
well
to get
done.
you excited.
All right,
Yeah.
so going on there. So speaking on Disney Star Wars, we're looking at this is a year review 2018. We've talked a lot about 2018 here. There's no reason why we can't talk about 2019. 2019 is right before us.
Yes.
What are you guys looking forward to in 2019?
Pick me.
All right, go, Frank.
Frank, go ahead, Frank.
I have to say, other than the possible New Year's Eve stream that Mr. Moist may be doing or may not be doing, allegedly.
Yeah.
For me, I am massively looking for Star Wars Celebration just because I know that Master Moist is going to try to be there. Proper Jeremy is going to try to be there, along with all of the people that we all watch and love, Geeks and Gamers, EBS, World Class Bullshitters, Owens Movie Blog, and I'm sure tons of the Jar Jar Army will be there.
Yes.
That is what I'm looking forward to. I have not found, unfortunately, some kind of device that we can put on DJ so he doesn't melt in the sun. So unfortunately, he cannot
Yes,
make
I
it.
probably won't be able to go. I'm sure they'll have me on additional lists by then because I'm sure I'll be quite infamous on both Twitch and goddamn Stream Me. If anything, they've pissed me off severely off doing this shit to my channel. So, yeah, I'm going to get worse for them. Now I just won't sleep at all and stream 24/7. Enjoy that one. Fuck you, YouTube. I just had to.
No, you guys haven't talked a whole lot on the stream, but to do I don't know what's that here. What Johnny S is saying he's looking forward to Rocket Man and the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film.
Yeah, the Joker film I'm looking forward to.
And Frank and the Winter Dog Clan. You guys have a what's your comments on the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film?
Why not?
Looks really good so far, at least to right.
My feelings are pretty much and this is no bullshit. I will wait and see it because I try not to watch a whole lot of trailers or anything because then you're looking for it in the movies and everything. I'm not going to say I'm excited because I haven't been excited about anything DC's made yet, but we shall see. I'm still more excited about Celebration just because of all the good people that are going to be there. But
yes,
I will see the movie. Well, actually, I won't. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to see shit. I listen to Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. I listen to everybody's review to see if it's even worth going to see. And if it's not, then, I might have to allegedly watch it on a Cody box. But we'll wait and see what DJ D's review is, along with World Class and everybody's.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to be at the current pace because we'll see how things go.
All right, well, we have as we have.
But yeah, the review will be on some social network. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We do have 2019, the year of the third movie of the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Train wreck.
Here we go. I'm gonna start out here with Black Angus reviews. Go ahead. Thoughts going into this year?
Oh my god.
That just summed it up right there.
That's accurate.
Please continue.
So I guess I kind of gotta rope in Force Awakens for this as quick as I can. So I was super excited for Force Awakens. When I heard Disney bought Star Wars, I wasn't even thinking about them owning the Marvel and doing those movies. I wasn't really deep into those yet. I saw them, but I wasn't like, oh, Avengers, yeah, this is a great track record for Disney to do Star Wars. I did like Tron Legacy, and people forget that without Tron Legacy as a start, maybe they wouldn't have been able to do Rogue One's CGI work for Tarkin and Leia. People forget that, but it's beside the point. I was really excited for Force Awakens. I was at Fort Drum at the time, and we waited 5 hours outside at the base theater to see it. We had the 501st walk us in. So that was cool, and I saw it that night again in Watertown outside of Fort Drum. And both times, and all 4 times I saw it in theaters, I loved and hated it. There was the first 20 minutes, I was like, wait a minute, I'm happy I'm back in Star Wars, but this just the comedy, it feels wrong, and it feels too crammed. But I still liked it. It was fun. And the next time I saw it, it was the worst hated Star Wars movie, and I kept going back and forth. And it does that each time. But I understand the soft reboot idea that Disney would have, looking at the prequels and thinking all right, what should we try to sell from what people like about Star Wars? I get it. It was a safe, soft reboot, And they did enough though to keep you interested. You're like, oh, like where's this chick from, or what's her story? Clearly, she's got to be someone that like is force sensitive from ancestry. That's how they set it up. It's very obvious. And Finn was a cool, like the idea that they train hand-to-hand combat, so using a lightsaber wasn't a big deal. Even though I just watched that robot head video, and I kind of get what he's saying about Disney and lightsabers and everyone being able to use them. There was a cool take on it. And then you get to Last Jedi, and it like apparently Ryan wrote this like in February of 2016, and it was like they barely tweaked it at all. So like, yeah. Weird, and everything he did was just wrong, and it's clearly a troll job because everything we were excited about, he's like, oh, you want to know about this? Fuck you.
Yeah,
Oh, Carrie Fisher actually died. Let me try to send her off in a very interesting way, poetic, with her son killing her and have her just float in space. Oh wait, she's still alive. And it's like, wow, that's like really shitty that you would like keep her alive when she's actually dead. Jock Ewing in Dallas, the actual actor died, and they wrote his death into the story pretty well. It felt fluid for like an actual actor death. So it was just, I don't get why they would have kept her alive. Well, I do. They're trying to,
Money.
get all the money they can from her character. I get that, but it's just like, wow, you killed two living actors, and then keep her character alive when she's actually dead. And you already said you're not going to do CGI or anything, so you put yourself in a corner because her story's still open ended. And it's just like every little thing I was interested in, or even with the False of the Force Awakens, like I don't care anymore. I don't want to give them any money. Even if it's an Oscar-worthy film, like I said this about Solo, like it didn't matter if it was The Sopranos or Mad Men quality or Godfather or whatever. It's the fact of the matter of like your agendas with using popular film to try to sell this obscure message that's outside of the the message that Star Wars should send of like world unity, because the story's written
You're looking
taking
at the
every
ultimate story of bad guys versus good guys.
Yeah, it's like ultimately it's what it is, and it's like the Force. Like I'm an atheist, but like I can't disprove God, and the Force is a great way to conceive the possibility of something that might be there, and it's tame enough where every religion can kind of buy into this idea of like that's a very like a tame way to look at religion. It's not really attacking or picking sides with any religion in the world. You can be a Christian and
Like
see
me, I'm like I'm
ideas of it. You can be a Buddhist, you can be a
everything.
Muslim. It's a unifying factor. Like everything about Star Wars, even the villains and the good guys, like everyone's got someone they can pick to identify with. But yeah, it's a world unity type of story without being like kumbaya hippies or something. And they've made it divisive. Like I plan to do a video. I thought initially that Last Jedi was like Hillary Trump culture divide, but no, I think it's bigger. I think this is like a schism. This is a heresy of pop culture. This is Judaism versus Christianity, and it's that divisive where it's like, all right, we have these like we both love Star Wars supposedly, but this is split in two now, and there's no reversing it now. It's like it's line in the sand, and
Yes.
yes, and
And
it's
the
like
other
Nike.
side plays dirty.
Go
The
into
other side plays dirty.
I'm saying I'm going to go in here right before you DJD. I'm going to pass it off to you. But I'm going to shamelessly plug what's going to happen here with my channel and also Black Angus reviews here coming into the new year. On January 6th, please join into the Moist Cast. That's a Sunday. We are going to be talking about season 1 of Game of Thrones. That will be myself and Black Angus Reviews as the main hosts.
Yeah,
We
cool.
might invite one or two other co-hosts to join us. That'll be to be determined. But every other week, bi-weekly, we will be alternating channels, and we will be hosting Game of Thrones streams. So on the 6th, I'll be hosting season 1. 2 weeks later, on Black Angus Reviews, we'll be talking about season 2, and so forth until the season premiere of season 8, which is the last last season episodes. We have 6 episodes of Game of Thrones left, and we are die-hard Game of Thrones fans. So please join us. Join us January 6th for the first episode of Black Angus Reviews and the Moist Reviews Season 1 of Game of Thrones. We'll come up with some sort of sexy title for that. But for now, join the Moist, join the Angus Reviews for fucking Season 1 Game of Thrones review on January 6th. And you can please, in the chat, tell us, did you love it? Did you hate it? Why did you want people to die? And we will also be sensitive. We will be sensitive to people that have not watched the full seasons. We might have half the episode spoiler free, and then the other half spoiler not free, obviously. But Black Angus Review and I, we have been talking behind the scenes. And we want to do we both feel like the Fandom Menace, like they have a lot of great feelings toward outlets such as Game of Thrones and things like that have not been covered, and we want to provide the platform for everyone to hop in on our Game of Thrones experiences. So Black Angus, I'll pass it off to you, and then DJD and everyone else.
Yeah, actually, for anyone interested, because Moist offered this idea off air after a Rookie Critic stream, like I'd say a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, and I took that to heart, and I'm like, shit, I looked into when Game of Thrones season's premiering. It's assumed it's going to be the 14th of April, so that's how I figured out going backwards when we started, when we picked a date to start doing these streams bi-weekly. And I just finished season 7 today. I've been binging for the last week. And wow, there's so many things that I caught because I kind of watched it in a weird way. I watched the first couple of seasons repeatedly when it was a thing. And then I caught up, but I haven't gone back and watched those first like 2-3 seasons for a few years. And I'm a dad now, so it gives a totally different angle. And I just pay attention to some of the things that you missed the first time that have an effect for the whole show. And it's just wow. And I plan to do some maybe a video about feminism and crap with Star Wars versus Game of Thrones and why the Phantom Menace does not hate women, just like how successful Game of Thrones is with lots of various women of varying degrees of power. But yeah, with to finish up with what I was saying about
Marjorie
episode. I'm sorry.
All right, I was just throwing out some names.
Yeah, to finish up with what I was saying about episode 9, like they've really screwed the pooch. Even if this is a great movie, I think it needs to be boycotted still. Pay for something else to go see it. Wait a couple weeks, like bullshitters have said, to really scare them to piss on their box office opening weekend projections and stuff. Just make them squirm. Hopefully makes less than $1 billion, so it'll be a wake-up call to these people. It's not about the quality of this movie anymore. It's really like the Joker. We're sending a message, and that's to get rid of these weirdos who want to crap on us, the fans on Twitter and whatnot, and ignore us, etc., or say that we don't deserve to be catered to because we're customers, And it's weird that they didn't learn that from Solo. So we got to teach them a lesson again. We got to teach them the greatest lesson of Last Jedi, which is failure. We got to show them just what failure means.
So guys, it's after 10 o'clock EST, 10 p.m. EST. I think that's 2010 EST.
Indeed.
I think we are going to close out the Moist stream of FriYAY. I think it's what the fuck is the date?
28th.
28th. The FriYAY Moist stream of the 28th. We're gonna close that out. The next Moist stream is going to be coming to you live on January 31st or whatever the fuck it is on Monday night.
Yeah, that particular day. Yes.
Monday night, I will be having a Moist stream.
Fun times had by all.
A lot of fun.
On New Year's Eve? Or
Yeah.
New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
Eve, moist stream. Fun times will be had by all. We're just gonna be talking to everybody. If you wanna hop in, send me a message on Twitter.
Hopefully on a much happier note.
Much happier notes, especially my DJD show.
No, by then I won't
We'll be
care.
having everybody
I'm going to have fun this weekend.
just to have a good time. Bring your wine, bring your Bush beer. Shout out Bush Light. I'm a big Bush Light drinker. But
it was my father.
Everybody.
Not gonna lie.
You gotta have your White Walker, Johnny Walker, my friend.
Oh, sheesh.
I just picked up a bottle.
I will also have whiskey, but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This was the prelude to the January 31st Moist Cast.
That thing.
The ultimate year in review and the ultimate let's bring in the fucking year in review.
Yes.
So for everybody, I'm gonna plug their channels really quick here. I'm gonna first start out with the DJD show. Please link in the section if you have not put your DJD show.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. The description, you can fix it later, man.
And let's also put out.
Yeah, you didn't know. You didn't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's also plug out a proper Jeremy.
Hello there. Yeah, we're gonna have another Council of Jeremys in the new year. The details will be announced in the coming weeks, and I very much look forward to it. One of the highlights of this year was being able to have the Council of Jeremy stream and have it be as successful as it was as a first-time streamer. And Brandon, you know how difficult it is. Like the first time, you have no idea what's going on or anything, or like how it works. It's a great learning experience, and I've gotten a lot of great compliments from people, and a lot of people saying how well I handled it. Especially for a noob. And I just I know I
did a good job, man.
I think proper Jeremy did a great job, and that
thank you
awesome to see him fucking take over.
I mean, DJ and I almost only had to break your arms to get you to do it. Hey,
200 Jeremy accounts, and next we're gonna go to Mr. Pete channel. And then we're going to go to Frank and the Strawhand Weird Dog Clan. And then we're going to go to Black Angus Reviews. Before we head out, though, and Mr. Pete, please take over.
Yes. What a great way to end the last Friday of the year. Hanging Brandon Moist, great as a host, great as always. I'd just like to give a quick little plug to my channel. Once I get to 600 subscribers, I will be doing another giveaway. So hopefully within sometime in January, you can win a prize. So all you got to do is subscribe. Okay, I'm done, and may everybody have a great 2019.
I will stick around here, and let's. I'm gonna say Frank for the end. Let's go with Black Angus Reviews here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Moist. Always love coming on the channel and meet new people. I think this is my possibly first time with DJD and Adam and Frank Shawhands.
Well, second time with me, because it was on there one time with Rookie and you, and yeah.
Okay.
I
wasn't sure.
It's a month ago though, so yeah.
I've been in so many live streams. Yeah, it's a blur. I cover film, philosophy, and the NFL. At some point, I plan to actually do not just NFL picks because the season's going on, but actually some in-depth kind of question pieces for the NFL. I got some good stuff lined up. I might do one. I thought about this before, but it just got put on the back burner of my mind. I thought about doing a video actually comparing how Leia is actually only the second best female character in Star Wars as far as main characters, behind Padme, with her interesting progression, in my opinion. Character development wise, not necessarily portrayal. I understand that difference, but I want to do like a think piece like that. But that along with the Game of Thrones being Brandon Moist be doing, got a lot of fun stuff coming up this year. Finally hit 200 subs. before the year ends. That was a great accomplishment I never thought would happen in a year's time. So it's been great having all the help from all y'all in the Phantom Menace and what we call the Fandom Collective now.
And exactly what Black Angus Reviews had just discussed about, I will elaborate on in just a second. But Frank and the Shawhan Weird Dog Clan, do you have a final closing statement before I close us out here?
Arf, 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 arf. All I can say.
And to elaborate on what Black Angus Reviews here on January 2nd, please tune in onto the Moist Cast on January 2nd, 2019. We'll
figure it out.
Season 1 of Game of Thrones. And then bi-weekly, we will be rotating channels here, and we will be talking about the seasons of Game of Thrones leading up to the April premiere of Season 8 of Game of Thrones, the last season that we're looking at here. And then we are potentially going to do live post-episode reactions. I want to do them because I'll probably bawl my eyes out or pissed off. Who knows what's going to happen? But please, beyond that, the first episode of Black Angus Reviews and the Moist Cast co-mixing on Game of Thrones reviews is going to be on January 2nd on Brandon Moist channel, the Moist Cast. And then the week after that, we're going to go over to Black Angus's channel. We're going to alternate left and right here, basically. We're going to spread the wealth because we got a lot of people within this community that loves Game of Thrones. Super fan Adam Shawhan is a big fan as well that we know. But for now, right now, goddamn, I'm fucking drunk.
It's all right. And by the way, I am willing to host as well if you would like.
Exactly. So
Yes.
we have many hosts here.
No, we got backup just in case.
So
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The Moist were just lost for words in a second there. What we're going to do here is I'm going to close this out here. I'd love to thank everybody in the chat here. Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, Dave Lewis, or Dave Cinema. Goddamn, I can't say it. But everybody in the chat, Caitlin, Keeper the Jeremys, I love all you guys, and so much. I love you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, and also keep your eye out. We might have a January 31st live Moist stream coming in to bring you into the new year. I don't really have anything to do in the new year, so hey, let's bring it up with the Phantom Menace. So I will see
Wait, you mean December 31st?
Yeah, that is the day.
You said January.
We might do it then again. You never know.
You never know. Double party.
I'll see you on January. I'll see you on December 31st, January 31st, whatever the hell you want to say.
Leathery burnt bacon and fun.
Hey, let's get moist.
Yeah, they will be moist.
May the moist be with you.
Let's get moist.
Always.
Let's have fun.